let's see. I'm looking to see if Reverend Corey has snuck on here again. I can't tell if he has or not, but Reverend Corey's still recuperating from his procedure, but he's, I talked to him this week. Sounds like he's doing much better, so he'll be back with us next Sunday. Anyway, Reverend Ray Fukumoto has been kind enough to step in for him today, so thank you, Reverend Ray. There he is. So he'll be joining us this week. So I think whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and start.
Kansho. So usually we see this in here.
Okay.
So it's
something. Is Zoom capture or something?
he should be sitting there. I just make sure that you can see him on the side. This one, not the other side. Okay. So be on the same side.
切空空一茶大安慶子有分百千億万無量大小修行語者空用一切死と小運不尿具道検証不逆非尿語者小分世界無影無修仙道光明失笑天地小国尿税小人異人難量ヨガサウン国土第一公衆奇妙道場朝鮮特尿海音義務闘争打倒愛民動乱日祭実法来小新年少女伊藤が国経楽安穏長文神妙税が新書本願の日力少々欲実法生存知恵無下上領子孫知が信用軽量心死食毒中作業精進民衆系
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tom Yamaguchi, and I will be your chairperson for this morning. We'll begin with the golden chain. Kansho. I am a link in Amida's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu.
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 Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida.
Next, we'll have our Gatha this morning. It will be Hotoke, which is sung by Reverend Corey. If you don't have a copy, is on the temple website at www.vhb.org.
Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Amondo Sama.
Urban Way will now lead us in the reading of the three treasures.
Hard is it to be born into human life, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One, now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be free from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I put my faith in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of thy way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves thy supreme will. I put my faith in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of thy doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I put my faith in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in thy life of harmony and a spirit of universal brotherhood, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages and myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. Let's see.
We'll now have our Dharma message by Reverend Ray.
Well, first, let me say hello. It's been such a long time. I see everyone over there. The last time I was here was in, during Obon 2019. I certainly hope this year that we are able to at least some semblance of Obon. One thing that is really prevalent out here, and before that, I forgot. It's been such a long time since I've been here, but I've got to read the Gosandai, so bear with me, and it'll be real short. Mimyo, Muryo, Junyo Rai, Namo Fuka Shigiko. Mama. In case you didn't know, those are the first two lines of the Shoshinge. And in the first two lines, what's really interesting, and this is what I learned in school, is that the first two lines of the Shoshinge, which is, I take refuge in the Buddha of immeasurable life, I entrust myself to the Buddha of inconceivable light, or vice versa. It's wisdom and compassion. And these two lines really contain the entire content of the Shoshinge. And the Shoshinge is simply the story of Jodo Shinshu from the beginning to the end. The end being Shinran Shonin's conclusion. Now, to get on to what I forgot, because it's been such a long time since I've been in front of folks. What I'd like to talk to today is something that I actually heard from another priest. And this priest is, you might know him, and I know you know his father, Reverend Nobuo Miyagi's son, Reverend Dr. Takashi Miyagi. On one of his podcasts over there, and the reason this kind of resonated with me today is because there's been so many COVID deaths. You know, people have been dying, people that you know have been dying. And this is such a sad thing, but a real thing at the same time. And then on Facebook or any of these platforms that you see, what do you see? You see people RIP. RIP, everybody knows what that means, right? Rest in peace. And in Reverend Miyagi's talk, he said that doesn't coincide with who we are as Shin Buddhists, as Joro Shinshu Buddhists. And I'll explain to you a little bit, but before I do that, I will say what triggered this talk today is, by the way, I still get the Rafu Shinpo. You should support them by becoming subscribers. But in the article, Reverend Keizo Norimoto, 88, Buddhist minister and Rafu Japanese section columnist. Reverend Norimoto died just recently, again, 88. And to think about how he's affected me, and in the same way affects those people that I met. So getting back to this rest in peace, in my mind, what really came to mind after Reverend Miyagi said this was, why doesn't it coincide with us as Joro Shinshu Buddhists? Why? Most people think, well, rest in peace is a good thing, right? But think about this. What does resting in peace mean? That you go to some nice place and you get to take a vacation for the rest of your life or all eternity? Is that what rest in peace means? Yeah, think about that. Wouldn't that be kind of boring? Yeah. I wouldn't want to just rest in peace for the rest of my life after I die. You know, in Joro Shinshu, we have this thing called Genso Eko. And this is kind of like leaving and returning. Now, what this leaving and returning means in Genso Eko is that after you're born in the Pure Land, you leave. People don't realize it, but the Pure Land is empty. Doesn't have anybody there. Why would you be there? And it's empty because you leave. And after you become a Buddha, and you help others receive that which you have gained. In other words, you come back to this Saha world, this mundane world of samsara to help others receive that which you have been gifted by the Amida Buddha. In other words, you get to help others. So this is resting in power. In Joro Shinshu, we don't rest in peace. We continue to work. You know, think about it. If you have purpose in life, wouldn't it be nice to have purpose after life? And the karmic conditions that you create as you live is what's important in Jodo Shinshu. It's not as you die. The dying part is taken care of. Why? Because we have Namo Amida Butsu. We have the Nimbutsu. The Amida Buddha says he will save all. Salvation in Jodo Shinshu or Buddha, in the Buddha Dharma in general, is not the same type of salvations that people that believe in a God have. Our salvation is to become a Buddha. Is to become a Buddha. That is the salvation of the Buddha Dharma, our Buddhism. So, we die, go to the Pure Land, come back to this mundane world to help others. This is what the Bodhisattva path is. The path to help all. Everybody, talks about, the Amida Buddha. Why do we hold reverence to the Amida Buddha? Mostly, if you think about it, it's not because he's the Buddha, because all Buddhas are equal. All Buddhas are the same. So why? Well, it's because all the meritorious virtue that he has created to gift everybody, so that we don't have to work, because he's already done the great practice for us. Now, there's no real time to really explain all these things, but what it comes right down to is that if you understand that life after death is not an end, but a new beginning of help. And if you begin to understand that all the works that you've done as you live connect you to all through your actions. I was talking to Tom this morning. His dad, Reverend Ken, Doc, is somebody that I knew way back. When he had his first assignment at the LA Betsuin. Doc affected me in a good way. His karmic conditions still stay with me. They're still here. Everybody here at this temple, it's the same thing. Before I left, I used to consider this place my second home. I still do in many ways, although I'm kind of like, the bad boy, never come back. But this is important because as you live, you affect. As you live, you begin to create these interconnectivities that you may not even realize you have. Reverend Norimoto affected me deeply, as did Reverend Inoue, who is getting that age. Like this year I turned 76, and the only good thing about getting old is that sometimes you get to be first in line for your COVID shots. But outside of that, I get, the aches and pains, the sadness of losing people that are close. But the thing that really remains is the fact that as we die, we rest in power. That power is still connected to us. This power will continue. This power will continue even after we die, our loved ones die. It is to become one with this thusness that is, this suchness, this truth in reality that we can't really understand. But when we pass, that too will be understandable. So death is nothing to be feared. However, I will share this with you. I don't want to go any day sooner than I have to. And that's a fact. But having said this, I feel sadness and joy at the same time at every funeral that I attend. Because I know that each one of those individuals, as we put our hands together, evoking Namo Amida Butsu to the person that goes by. Why? Because we've already realized that that person is a Buddha. This is the only time we do it in Jodo Shinshu, is putting our hands together and doing this for somebody other than here at the temple. So I will kind of conclude my little talk here is if you see a obituary, if you lose somebody dear, realize that it's not for them to rest in peace, but for them to rest in power. Namanda, 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 namanda.
Thank you, Sensei, for your message. Next, we'll recite the 6 Paramitas.
Oh, okay. 6腹三つ。御仏様の心に立ち返らさせていただいて、一つ、今日一日、今日か、まなと温かい情け、つつましやかな態度で暮らしましょう。一つ、今日一日腹を立てますまい。一つ、今日一日不平不足嘘を申しますまい。一つ、今日一日私の仕事に全身全力を挙げてつかさせていただきましょう。一つ、今日一日夜昼常に私もを守らせても御仏のご恩を喜ばさせていただきましょう。一つ、今日一日南無阿弥陀仏を唱えさせていただきましょう。6 Paramitas. Turning our thoughts to the Buddha. Let us throughout the day live with clear eyes, warm hearts, and humble attitude. Let us throughout the day not become angry. Let us throughout the day not utter words of discontent, dissatisfaction, and untruth. Let us throughout the day do our daily work with all our power. Let us throughout the day rejoice in the love and compassion of the Buddha, who is constantly watching over us day and night. Let us throughout the day repeat the holy name, Namo Amida Butsu. Promise. The Buddha is our eternal father and mother. The Buddha always keeps watch over us. We promise to listen to the teachings of the Buddha and perfect ourselves by following the Buddha's ideals. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida.
Thank you, Sensei. Are there any announcements? If so, please unmute yourself and make your announcement.
Anybody have announcements? Anybody else? Okay, then I'll go. Good morning, everybody. First of all, thank you, Reverend Ray, for joining us today. And so for the last 2 weeks, we've been able to, while Reverend Corey's been out, we've kind of, those of us who have been around a while have gotten to go back to kind of old times. We had Reverend George last week, and this week we have Reverend Ray here with us. So just like it was many years ago. Next week is our Ohigan service. Reverend Corey will be back, but Reverend George will also be back as our guest speaker. So please join us on the 17th at 9:30 for that. And I think I'll let Judy do this because otherwise I'll botch up. I know the BEC is also having a program that day. So afterwards. There is Dharma school today after service. So there's a breakout room. If you click on the bottom of your screen where it says breakout rooms, it'll say Dharma school. And you can then select that and join that after service is over. And then April 4th is our Hanamatsuri service coming up. So save that date. We have a very special guest that day. Bishop Marvin Harada from the BCA will be joining us. So this will be the new bishop's first official, his first time seeing us as bishop. He'll be doing it virtually, but he will get to see all of you. So spread the word. We hope to have a real big showing that day so that he can meet as many of our Sangha as he can, at least virtually. He'll get to see our virtual Sangha too, but anyway. And then also on that day, we will be having a celebration for the youngest members of our Sangha. So you should have received in the mail a flyer. You can just send that back in or just email us, tell us that you'd like to share or introduce your new one to everybody on that day. So it won't be the traditional Hatsumairi ceremony that we have. We'll do that when it's safe to do so in person. But at least we want to share the new faces with everybody on that day. And then finally, you should have seen in the mailing, we're going to do our virtual Hotoke that day. So after service, you can come and pick up bento to enjoy at home. So we're still not at a point where we can all sit together and eat, but we'll have bento. There is an RSVP card in the mailing, so if you can either send that in, or if you can let Barbara Fukuji know that you would like a bento, and she'll mark you down, and then you can just drive up and pick it up on that day. I think from 12 o'clock onward. Thank you, Ron. Yeah, the Hotoke bento is at no cost. It would be like you're coming to temple to have lunch, that we're eating together after. So just, if there was a way, I'd say you have to go to service, but there's no way to check that. But anyway, you can order. And if you're part of our senior Dana delivery program, don't worry, you don't have to RSVP. Your bento is going to be the April delivery. So someone will be bringing you bento already. So you don't worry about ordering if you are in that program. And then I'm gonna tease one more thing, and Barbara, I gotta find my flyer. So in April, we're going to have our own Ruts Cafe fundraiser. So you may have heard me talk about the one Gardena just had. Here it is. So from April 18th to the 24th, we'll be sending out a flyer. You can go to either Ruts Cafe or Tuts Cafe, and you will get 5% discount, and the temple will get 20% of whatever you buy. So if you need to go on a diet now, so that you could order lots when that time comes. So be looking for the announcement on that. And let me see, I think that's all I have for today. So thank you.
As Jerry mentioned, we will be having a book club meeting after Ohigan service next Sunday, beginning at approximately 11 a.m., I believe. And we will be discussing the book Jewels by Reverend Dr. Kenneth Tanaka. And copies are available at the temple, or you can click on the link for an online version of the book. So please join us. Thank you.
Thank you. We will conclude this morning with the Gatha farewell as recorded by Reverend Corey, and followed by the reading of the Benediction.
Dharma school is over for another day. Let us gather round the shrine, bow our heads and say, thank you, teacher, for your help. Thank you, everyone. Goodness, love will keep us safe till our work is done. So we'll meet again next week. Want to take good care. Let us try to do what's right, always kind and fair. We shall spread the happiness faith in Buddha brings. Now it's time to say goodbye till we meet again. Namo Amida Butsu, sing this fine refrain. Namo Amida Butsu, sunny day.
We surround all people in all forms of life with infinite love and compassion. Particularly, do we send forth loving thoughts to those in suffering and sorrow, to all those in doubt and ignorance, and to those whose feet are spinning close to the great change men call death. We send forth oceans of wisdom, mercy, and love. Namo Amida Butsu.
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 Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Thank you for attending this morning's service. Dharma School students can move over to the breakout rooms for classes. You may not unmute yourselves and visit with everyone else. Have a good day.